Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome in for our final week of January collective card pulls. And you may see a little wardrobe change here on our January altar because we are finishing strong this longest month ever. Am I right? Can you believe it's still January? 2025, but we're ending strong with the Lunar New Year. We are welcoming in the year of the wood snake this week with the first new moon of 2025. So we have some other decks popping in to mix in with the beautiful winter season tarot that we have been working with throughout this whole month. Absolutely loving this gorgeous deck and the interpretations from Dani'el Norman, amazing human and creator of all the decks. So thank you so much for being here for the ride. I know many of you have told me how much you've enjoyed working with this deck this month, and we will certainly be pulling out some of her other beautiful decks as we move through this year. And we're bringing in some other favorites. Of course, whenever we have a lunation, we like to bring out the Queen of the Moon Oracle from Stacey DeMarco. We're going to be tuning in for the new moon in Aquarius to kick us off this year and ring in the Lunar New Year. So we'll be pulling a card here this week for the overarching energy of this new moon. And then this beautiful oracle deck, the Chinese 5 elements coming in here from Vick, Iskandar. Sorry, I know I just butchered that. Iskandar coming in here for the Lunar New Year. So we are going to pull one card from that deck just to bring in some of the energies that we're welcoming in this week. And then later this week, over on the Empowerment Sharecast, my free space tucked away from the noise of social media. I know many of you are here watching there. But if you're catching this in one of my social media spaces, I will have the link here, or you may message me to come over and join. It's free. It's fun. I'll be doing a pick a card for the Chinese New Year, and we will have each of the 5 Chinese elements represented. We're going to be chatting on some background about the Chinese zodiac, finding your own personal not just your zodiac animal, but also the element that's associated with it by your birth year, and some other fun facts. So definitely have some fun things to look forward to this week. And also, of course, from the empowerment camp, we have the new moon empowerment reading happening this week. Wednesday is our new moon in Aquarius. So if you are already with me for the empowerment pack, that's going to be coming at you. If you would like to join us, we have it here available. I just shared the link here on the Sharecast, and we'll also have it in any of those social media spaces. If you want to join for that new moon reading, we have the astrological weather. I've chosen a spread to use to bring in some messages from some intuitively chosen decks. And then, of course, an optional ritual for you to tune into and some other resources. And then part 2, which is your personal card pulls for the first new moon of the year, which is an amazing time for you to really set some intentions, some seed planting. And, you know, with it here coming in with the new year of the wood snake, which, like I said, we'll be diving in much deeper into that this week, but wanted to bring some of those elements forward to get us started, along with, of course, the current year of the wood dragon that we've been moving through since last February when we rang in that Lunar New Year, this beautiful healing energy spray that was infused with these energies of the wood dragon for connection and support, for luck, success, growth, and power. So I'm going to infuse our collective reading. I mean, last week was kind of big, guys. We had a lot of intense cards last week. I know that I shared on the Empowerment Sharecast just a little bit about how that Hanged Man, Tower, 10 of Swords, and 7 of Swords showed up for me with a certain little birthday girl in my household who did have a very fun birthday yesterday and enjoyed her party and all the things. But again, what we're here for is to really tap into the beautiful tool that is the tarot from an empowered place, where we can allow those signs and symbols and the universal language of the tarot to speak with our own intuition, so that you have information, guidance, wisdom as you step into your week, so that you can greet that with your free will to move accordingly from an empowered place. So With the cards that we'll be pulling tonight, we have our 5-card spread that we do from the winter season tarot. We'll have our oracle cards to accompany. If you would like a personal card pull for this week, please feel free to leave me a short message after this. If you're watching it on the Empowerment Sharecast or in the comments, send me a message, whatever way works for you. And I'll be happy to tune in for you for a personal card pull this week to see what's coming in. And also, there will be, again, the link for booking if you would like to connect for either the New Moon Empowerment reading or just on the other side of this week. When we meet again next Sunday, it's going to be a new month. We're going to have a new altar space, newly intuitively selected decks, and we'll be kicking off a new month for the Empowerment Pack, the February Empowerment Pack. So if you would like to come along for that as well, I'm providing, the booking details there, and you can always reach out. Okay, let's dive in. I'm a little bit winded because I don't usually tune in and pull cards on the other side of a casual Sunday, but we just had a big football game here. And our team, the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, won and have been named as one of the 2 teams that will be going to the Super Bowl. The other teams are playing it out right now. And as I have shared before, I am I'm not a very sports-minded person, but I'm here for the camaraderie and the fun. And just as an empathic person, I get really affected by all the intense emotions that fans move through when they're watching games. So anyway, it's always fun to observe, but I'm in a little bit of a mood because I was just celebrating with friends and family. So that feels right for us to tune in here for the new year. So Lunar New Year coming right up with a very powerful new moon as well. So with that, I'll start by pulling our first card for Monday and Tuesday because that's going to lead us up to the Wednesday. Wednesday's where it's all happening here in the middle of the week, the 29th, where we do have this new moon in Aquarius and the Lunar New Year. So let's start. As always, we're going to pull our cards here. We have a 5-card spread where we're connecting in collectively. So you're invited to take what resonates and leave the rest. That's how it works with a collective reading. There's always someone else there to pick it up. But that being said, I do love hearing from you on the crazy and wild ways that these things show up. Like I said, mine was pretty funny, what I shared, including photographs of some of the things that came up to represent my 7 of Swords. So you can't make it up. So let's see what is coming in here for us this last full week of January. Wild ride this first month of the year. What do we need to know as a collective? What's coming up to set the tone for the week with the Monday card? Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Strength. So we have this gorgeous card of Strength, the Leo card of the tarot, number 8, which is, of course, also in alignment with the universal year of 2024 that we've just come from. So again, it does feel kind of a full circle as we're closing out the year of the wood dragon. There were so many similarities with the energies of the Strength card and that overarching the year of 2024, and then the aspects of the wood dragon. So we're going to, once again, we're going to get into that this week on the Sharecast when we talk about the wood snake and that in comparison with this universal year 9, the Hermit energy as well. So now Tuesday is going to represent a potential block or challenge this week. What is coming forward for us this week as a potential block or challenge to be mindful? Look at this gorgeous Page of Wands. So we have a little message coming in here from the Cardinal, which in my love of bird wisdom, I know that the Cardinal can represent transformation. Cardinals are often associated with ancestors and, loved ones in spirit as well. So we'll tune into what the Page of Wands has to come in here for us for the Tuesday message. Now, as we're getting ready to pull our Wednesday tarot energy, let's also bring in the Queen of the Moon energy, see what is coming in for us for this first new moon of 2025 in the sign of Aquarius. As I said, I will be diving deeply into these energies for the new moon empowerment reading that I'll be recording here at the top of the week for anyone who would like to join. And this will be the card that we build from. This particular card that comes forward now will carry through to that more comprehensive reading. So let's see what's coming forward for this new moon in Aquarius. Overlighting energy coming from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. One of my favorites, the wisdom energy with this master number 22, which is like a master builder number. So there is a really powerful frequency that comes in with the energy of wisdom. Yeah. And ascension, you know, and so this is what we are building up to collectively here in the age of Aquarius. So this is really powerful. I'll touch on it here today. And then of course, like I said, we will be deep diving in the empowerment reading. So let's see, what do we have? And I'll just bring it in here so we can fit everybody in. Have coming in, I'll pull the Wednesday card, and then we'll pull a special oracle message from the Chinese 5 elements as well. So let's see, Wednesday represents a midweek blessing. Midweek blessing coming in for us this final week of January. Let's see, what am I feeling there? 5 of coins. Okay, I love it when we have to flip that script and take a look at things from a different perspective, because, you know, there's certain cards that may have particular associations. And when it's a blessing, it gives us an opportunity to really take another look and see how it could hit differently, how there is something there for us to really explore, you know, what is this happening for me in order to show me, to teach me, to bring in this higher wisdom, the energies that we're moving through. So let's pull our oracle message for this week coming from the Chinese 5 elements. This is, again, the beautiful deck that I will be using for the pick a card for the Lunar New Year over on the Empowerment Sharecast this week. So we will have a nice message coming in with some tidbits about the Lunar New Year, specifically around the year of the wood snake. And everyone can pick the card or cards that are speaking to them. Also, there'll be some guidance on how you can figure your own personal Chinese zodiac and element. And then specifically, I'll have some guidance for some resources out there for zodiac messages for this particular year and how it's hitting for your sign. So let's just see which one is coming forward. And yes, I did already take a peek at the wood snake in this deck. So that's in here as well. That sure would be synchronistic if that one wanted to come forward, but we'll see. I also have another beautiful tarot deck that goes very nicely with this one. It's right here, back here, the Storyteller's Tarot. So we'll be dipping into that likely, if not this week, in the first week of February for sure. So we'll see how that comes forward too. Let's get, the metal bird. Treat yourself like royalty, and the number is 58. Beautiful. Okay, so we will feel into that oracle message for our week. And we have 2 more tarot cards to bring in. Then we'll get into some astrological weather and then the messages from the cards. See what's coming in here for Thursday, which represents how we are growing. How are we growing this week? How have we grown so far this year? 3 of Cups winking at us. Yeah, I've seen a lot of posts and memes out there that's like, phew, January, what a long year. You know, it just feels like, wow, the new year feels like it was light years ago. And yet we still have a full week of January. But time is just all in the way that we perceive it. So you could feel like the month flew. It's all about how you're experiencing it. And they're all valid. So let's see what's coming forward here for how we're growing. Ooh, Ace of Swords. Well, that's beautiful and definitely ushering in that Aquarian energy, because there's these new beliefs, new understandings, new ways of thinking. And, you know, it's coming in, and it's coming in clear. I love that. Look at that icicle just really blazing the way through for the new. So that's lovely to come in as how we're growing. Oh, one more from this deck. Friday. We've got our final card. See what's coming in here for Friday. Okay, one last card. 3 of Wands. Lovely. So yeah, where to from here? So there is this opportunity for us to really have, again, this big picture perspective of planning something big, you know, and the sky, this is the time to dream as big as you can, as you possibly can, expand into those dreams, those hopes, those wishes, those ideas, the passions, all of the sparks and all the things that are coming in. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, how that Page of Wands is being the messenger of these big things and how there is that potential challenge, but yet we're really finding that, I feel that many of us are flowing with this energy, as difficult and intense as it can be. There's an understanding that, you know, all hands on deck, we're moving through this, and, you know, it's one thing at a time. And so, you know, we'll talk about the ways that we can flow as best we can this week, and on the other side, kicking off a brand new month. So here we have all of our cards to get into. I'm recording this live on the Empowerment Sharecast. So if you're here for it live or for the replay, I do post it as well on my YouTube channel. I will likely post this on Instagram, Facebook as well. So if you're seeing it in any of those other spaces, this is a sampling of the free Empowerment Sharecast on the Marco Polo app, where I'm able to just connect with you a little more directly and intimately. I'm able to offer you a free personal card pull for your week. I will also be sharing, like I said, some special pick-a cards and additional messages this week, specifically around the Lunar New Year, and information here as well on how we can work together more comprehensively with a number of offerings. But primarily this week, we are diving into the New Moon Empowerment reading, and we're getting ready to kick off February for a month of the Empowerment Pack, where you and I would work together throughout the month with 3 readings, which include collective messages and personal card pulls just for you. So if you have any questions or you're interested, please let me know. Check out the link. But for now, we're going to flip it around and take a look at these cards and the messages coming forward, starting with some of the astrological weather. Let's check it out. All right, let's kick things off with some energetic weather this week. I'm going to touch on a few things. Beginning with Monday, January 27th, Mercury enters Aquarius. So Mercury, the messenger of the gods, is gaining some speed now. So it's entering into Aquarius, where we can feel more innovative and imaginative. So we're really being encouraged here to think outside the box and in non-linear terms. That's what I was saying too in the card pull about, you know, time not being linear, and really feeling into, you know, the energies that we're tapping into and then projecting out in a big way in terms of what we are looking to imagine, to innovate, etc. So Mercury in Aquarius is also a great time for entrepreneurial ideas and stepping outside of your comfort zone when it comes to your communicative efforts. So it's a great time to strike up that conversation that you wouldn't normally have the courage to, or speak your mind a little more and see what happens, right? Put it out there. Mercury in Aquarius wants us to be true to ourselves and share our creative sparks. So there's really this tapping into our authenticity and then sharing it outwardly. This energy is coming in to set us off into the week. And then, as we've been talking, middle of the week, 2 big things coming together. January 29th, we have the Chinese New Year and the Aquarius new moon. So we're experiencing our first new moon of 2025, and also the start of the year of the snake in Chinese astrology. So the year of the snake indicates a year of change and fluidity, that sometimes we need to go with the flow. And it seems that 2025 will be one of those years. Yes, right? We have been saying this about flowing through it. It's, you know, not about what we're moving through. It's how we choose to move through it. So we're going to talk much more about the symbolism of the wood snake and how it is coming in to support us through this year. Midweek, when I come in on the Empowerment Sharecast to do our pick a card from that beautiful Chinese elements deck and talk more about it. I'm certainly no expert on Chinese astrology, but I really find it to be so interesting to look at what that astrological system has to say about the year ahead in concert with the other tools that we tap into in the way of Western astrology and, the tarot, numerology, and all the other fun goodies that we tap into here to really weave together some insight, guidance, and wisdom into the year ahead. So that is really bringing in an opportunity with the snake, to bring in intuition, wisdom, fluidity, and change. The zodiac of the snake reminds us that, it really is time to shed our skin, to remain open-minded and flexible to the new possibilities that can arise. And as I look at some of the cards that came in here, beautiful. There's actually a lot of new energy in these cards. We're going to talk about it. But as I mentioned, the page is a messenger, bringing in something new. Also just the energy of it being youthful and novice, into something. The ace bringing in new beginnings. The 3 of Wands, all about setting out on new. So there's a lot of beautiful energy here for us to work with. And it's all combined with the new moon in Aquarius, the first one of the year. So it's really interesting that in addition to the energies that the wood snake is bringing in, the new moon in Aquarius also encourages us to go with the flow, where we may feel a little unsettled or find ourselves at the beginning of a new chapter that we didn't see coming. So while we are best served to remain flexible, this is a good new moon for bringing more clarity and structure into our lives. So if we're still feeling off balance from riding the waves of the year end, holiday season, all the things that we've been navigating through this beginning of the year, this new moon invites us to create perhaps some organization and structure so that we can feel more balanced. And again, we're going to get into that much more in the new moon empowerment reading. So if you want to really see how you can work with this first new moon of the year in an empowered way, I encourage you to join me for that. We're going to be diving into that this week. And then the other aspect I'm going to highlight here is January 30th, Uranus is stationing direct. Finally. So Uranus, the planet of change and awakening, the change maker, finally ends its retrograde journey in Taurus. So this is one of the last times that Uranus will retrograde in Taurus. So we're getting closer to really wrapping up a big cycle that we've been working through since 2018. Uranus in Taurus has been rocking our foundations when it comes to our finances, the world of agriculture, and what makes us feel safe and secure. So once again, like I said, no mistakes. 5 of coins coming up for Wednesday's energy, which is the midweek blessing. So that is a card, the coins, that are largely around financial changes and transitions and all the things I just said. So that feels really aligned. We'll feel into that for Wednesday. With Uranus stationing direct, any of those upheavals or changes that we've been experiencing since the end of August will begin to smooth out. And we may feel more confident or sure of where we are heading. So, perhaps if our lives have been turned upside down since August, right, we may start to feel a greater sense of balance and understanding. So yeah, if it has been a bumpy ride for you since that time, and I for one can say that is the case for me, there is this sense of some smoothing out of those wild, the ripples and the waves, and perhaps some new inspirations, some new clarity coming in, which once again, as I look at the cards this week, and again, I feel like a little bit of a breath of fresh air this week after last week's cards, where we had several major Arcana cards. We had some really significant energies there. This week we have a beautiful major Arcana card of strength, and then we have all these minors bringing in just those little bits and bobs and pieces that help to color the week and really set the tone. But I'm feeling really good about connecting in with this with this guidance here. So we're going to roll into it now. We're going to start with some of our tarot messages, and then we'll sprinkle in the oracle guidance as we go as well, since we have cards to chat about for the new moon and the Lunar New Year. So let's take a look. All right, here we go. We are jumping into this last full week of January with our one and only major arcana card, this gorgeous card of strength, number 8. Bringing in the energy of taming the beast within. You may have heard me say that a time or two, because of course we talked about it all last year throughout 2024, which was an 8-year, and all about this energy of finding that balance between those different aspects of self, those inner impulses, or in some cases, the more primal and lower vibrational, egoic energies, the beast. And then those aspects of the higher self where we have an opportunity to bring those things to heal, but understanding that they too have a role. So it's kind of like knowing about when to come from a more ferocious place or perhaps a more tamed place, I just think that, in the context of all the peopling, all the relationships and things that we maybe have, certainly we're navigating all throughout, especially the second half of 2024. But, as we're entering into this year and throughout this month, those dynamics that have come up. And I get a little like lone wolf versus the wolf pack with this card too, because there's this sense of, whether they're things with here now we're in year 9, the year of the hermit, there's much more turning back to self and going within, and sort of like that lone wolf energy of connecting in with our own inner light, inner strength. And yet, emerging as a leader. I think there's really an opportunity here for a lot of us to lead by example, that especially when we see a lot of chaos going on, a lot of things happening on the outside. And there is that sense of like, well, what can I do? And how can I help? And what can I possibly do to affect change? And then we're continually turned back to go within. That when you see dis-ease and discord outside of you, that it is always a reflection back to what is going on within us all, individually and collectively, that is in need of healing, taming, perhaps some integration is in order. And, another thing I always like to say when a wolf pops up is, that beautiful parable from the Cherokee grandfather, the story of the tale of 2 wolves within every man and woman, the sense of all people having within them 2 aspects of 2 wolves, the light wolf and the dark wolf, which is representing, of course, light and shadow, the two polars in terms of the duality, the dualistic nature that we all carry. And, he says to the grandson that, everyone carries both of these wolves within them. And the grandson says, well, who wins? Which wolf wins? And the grandfather says, well, the one that you feed. So that's kind of like the main parable. And then as I've shared, I've come across a part 2 in my travels, which is saying that being said, if you were just to deny and starve out the bad wolf, the dark wolf, then it will then in its, quest to survive, come back with a vengeance. It can create actually more to not acknowledge. So there's sort of this double message in that parable about recognizing that they all have a place. They all have a function, the light and the shadow, the doing and the being, the masculine and the feminine, all of those aspects. It's about really getting into a sense of equilibrium within ourselves to flow. Again, to be able to move through all of those polarities, and how am I going to move? So there is a sense of how I'm showing up in any given moment, and from where I'm pulling in that energy. So let me take a look and see what the Winter Season Tarot has to say on this beautiful version. Okay, this one is called the Wolf Whisperer. It says, the moves that you make are calculative. You understand the psychology of people and motives. You use your innate power and intuition to persuade and move forward in the direction that you need things to go. You are in tune with the universe, balanced in body, mind, and spirit. You know when to move ahead and when to pull back. Yeah, this is what I was feeling. So you use your inner strength to move forward and get things done. So there really is this sense of, facing our fears, putting trust in our own strength, to stop doubting ourselves and to really connect in with this sense of clarity, and in so doing, finding the confidence. So this enables us to really take a moment to recognize and recollect that we have, in fact, accomplished many, many things, right? And that all that you have been through to get where you are right now, you begin to see your unlimited potential once again. So that's beautiful, because it really is about this. And I love the snowy background is giving us a sense of purification. And that's another key word that's coming in with this year of the wood snake, this notion of shedding the skins of the soul, as I like to say. And so as we peel away and are healing, and I like to say heal in both senses of the word, HEAL, to heal, but also when we talk about taming the beast within, bringing it to heal, HEEL, right? So we bring it to heal. And so we've done this work. We've been doing this work. The year 8 has passed, and now we are deeper and deeper stepping into this year 9. In fact, we're hitting another milestone this week as we then turn the wheel for the Chinese zodiac and the Lunar New Year coming in here. So as I mentioned, yes, we rung in the new calendar year, January 1st. Now this week, we're preparing to really come even deeper into this energy of the hermit and recognizing, that light within and utilizing that in a very, again, this was talking like strategic, like logic, using our knowing and our wisdom, and also, again, this innovation and information, like technology that's coming in with all this Aquarian energy that we can tap into as well. So I really love this powerful card coming in to set the tone for us this week. Let's take a look now at that striking Page of Wands coming in for Tuesday's potential blocker challenge. All right, now Tuesday brings in strikingly the potential blocker challenge this week through the Page of Wands. So this is bringing in a little bit of that fire energy, the sparks of inspiration, of ideas, of, feeling the desire, the passion of maybe some, creative inspirations coming in. And yet there might be some type of blocker challenge that's coming in. I love how throughout this deck, all of the pages have these little satchels on the side, these little messenger bags, because it's such a beautiful symbol of, and that they're birds, because there's a sense of this messenger spirit, that they're all bringing in messages of some type. And cardinals are certainly ones that are very striking. And I love the red, because that's really, of course, a frequency that we're tapping into here with the Lunar New Year, of really getting our attention, alert, right? Knight of Wands coming in, Page of Wands rather, the messenger coming in here with the cardinal. And seeing a cardinal is a stop in your tracks situation. It is rare to see one, and when you do, you take notice. Now, around these parts, I see cardinals quite often. Not only are they perhaps more common in this area, but also they are one of the two birds that are very powerful symbols to me of, again, loved ones in spirit. I've shared before that the cardinals are my beloved grandmother and the blue jays my grandfather as well. And I know they come around a lot this time of year. There's some anniversary dates and milestones coming up actually in the next 2 weeks for both of them, for me personally. But so as I say, they're definitely a bird that gets your attention, whether where you are, you see them frequently or not. But when you do, they come to your attention and say, alert, right? We pay attention. So it's said that red cardinals are the messengers sent from heaven, from your loved ones, letting you know that they are okay. Knowing that can allow you to have peace and be able to get what you need done. And get it done. There's things that need to be done and you can do it, because there's this sense of perseverance and strength to do so. Allow the cardinal to bring about motivation and strength. And the red in there is representing the root chakra, which governs your safety, your security, and also bloodline. So again, the ancestors, the sense of being safe and secure, all coming in here. So if we're talking about this in terms of a potential block or challenge this week, some of the ways this can show up is you may be feeling a lot of inspiration or ideas and not really sure where to begin, or maybe feeling a little disjointed or feeling disrupted in terms of, you've got all the ideas, but you're lacking in time or resources to really give them the attention that you would like. So we can be feeling creatively restless and really wanting to dive in. And there's guidance here from the winter season tarot that, as you embark on any new spiritual journey of learning and self-expression, feeling eager to learn new things about who you truly are while you are here and what life actually means to you, having an open mind to all the possibilities, moving forward with clear intentions, and yet red light, stop in your tracks. What's the holdup? And again, we had the Hanged Man 2 weeks in a row coming in with perspective. In fact, last week being in the position of the potential blocker challenge, these holdups, stoppages. This could be where you may not be quite sure what this feeling is stirring inside of you, or what to do with it, or where to start. So for now, perhaps just keeping your ideas and visions to yourself until you're feeling more clear to begin. That's one way that it can show up here. And I think the fact that the week ends with the 3 of Wands is definitely showing, like I said, sometimes I like to flip the script when we say it's a block, but sometimes it's a challenge in terms of even challenging yourself, really pushing yourself out of comfort zone, or pushing yourself to do the thing, to take the step, to light the match, to step forward into the new. And like I said, this is the week to do it when we have the first new moon of the year and the Lunar New Year to really set some intentions. So I think despite whatever, red flag might be popping up, there's an opportunity for us to challenge that back. You see what I'm saying? It's a challenge and it's stepping up, and then we in turn come back. Perhaps we'll really get into that here with the Ace of Swords that's coming up soon. But let's tap into Wednesday, because we've got 3 cards to talk about to cover that energy. Let's take a look. All right. Wednesday, middle of the week, midweek blessing, new moon, new lunar year. Let's start with our tarot card, the 5 of Coins, because I think this is a nice follow-up to what we were just feeling into with the Page of Wands, that striking cardinal messenger, as a potential blocker challenge, because we talked about that striking red bringing us into the root chakra, to our base, feelings of safety, security, and in what way could that be challenged? 5 of Coins has a similar message in that traditionally, it's the card that does speak to where there once was security, now there is loss, that it can represent misfortune or feeling on the outs, or in some way, it is a card that can speak to financial well-being, but also health and well-being, and just, again, feeling on the outs. It's beautifully depicted here with them outside of this stained glass window, and they're in the cold. And there is this sense of, being without. And yet there is a perspective to be seen when we're talking about a midweek blessing from the 5 of Coins that speaks to tough times coming to an end, beginning to feel better about our emotional state and the energy around you. Giving us this guidance to look ahead toward the light at the end of the tunnel, to think with optimism and positivity, and not just glossing over genuine, lack and loss and feelings of being on the outs or not feeling well in any sense of the word. But that oftentimes those things can be our greatest messengers. Anytime that I'm giving guidance, especially around health and the physical body, when it comes to the tarot, and I like to say, I am not a doctor, but we work in concert when we're talking about medical things, ailments, and I like to approach them from an energetic perspective on how you can support from an emotional, energetic place, understanding that those things are all interconnected, that the physical manifestation, whether it be within our own bodies as dis-ease or illness, or it be in a sense of loss or lack from a financial or any type of abundance that we are without, or feeling insecure in any way, that these things are often the red flags, the squeaky wheel, the thing that manifests to bring to our attention something that is in need of balance, healing in some way. And of course, everyone's situations are different, but there's potential here as a blessing for us to see that oftentimes those rejections are great protection and redirection from the universe, that there are opportunities then for us to build back better in a way in terms of what we know now and having had those experiences. So, this is a perfect buildup to this card that has come forward on this day, the wisdom energy coming in from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, because we're feeling into what we have learned and how far we have come through any type of adversity or challenges or things that have come our way. So we'll kind of build up to this through these additional cards on how they might be hitting this week. But this is a card that says where there is a will, there is a way, where perseverance is where it's at. There's this opportunity for us to look up and look beyond what meets the eye or where we are in a present moment to see the potential that we are tapping into now here, and especially with the remaining cards we have to tap into. So let's take a look now at the Queen of the Moon Oracle message. So here we have the Queen of the Moon Oracle card that's come forward as an overarching energy of this week's new moon in Aquarius. And as I mentioned when I pulled the card, this is master number 22, this master builder number, which is also the number associated with Archangel Sandalphon, who is the archangel that is seated at the Earth Star chakra, the lowest chakra point at the base of our feet that literally touches the earth, that connects us with the earth. So it's interesting that, we're bringing up these, in sequence, talking about this Page of Wands, this red light, alerting us to potential insecurity or lack or need for something, as the Five of Coins is speaking to us on that front. And now we have this guidance to get rooted and grounded in our own wisdom, inner wisdom, which again is pointing us to this universal year 9 of the Hermit. So the Queen of the Moon Oracle says the wisdom is more than just mere knowledge. There may be something that you aren't seeing and need to research more thoroughly. Wisdom is gathered, but it takes time. Learn from your experience. You might wish to ask the opinion of a wise mentor if you are uncertain. And the mantra with this card is, I use my knowledge and experience to make wise decisions. So, like I said, I'm going to be diving more deeply into this card when I do the New Moon Empowerment reading and see how that comes in alongside of the accompanying tarot cards from the spread that we'll be doing there. But, the guidance here from the Queen of the Moon is saying that the body has its own innate wisdom. And I think this is important in light of the Five of Coins coming in and touching on things like our health and well-being and all of those things. So if healthy is just... If healthy, when the body is healthy, it just knows what to do and it does what it needs to keep us alive and moving without thinking too much about it. Most of the time, we aren't aware of trying to keep our heart beating or of breathing when we are asleep. So similarly, we have this innate reasoning system, intuition, that allows us to get answers or receive information without conscious thinking. It's the feeling or hunch of information or insight that is just there. And some people believe this is the wisdom that we receive from the gods, the very spark of the divine voice that is left within us. This is a very old kind of wisdom that sits in a very old part of the brain. Then there is the gathering of knowledge and experience. And when we discern and learn from this, then the result is really coming into a place of acuity. We have this ability then to really discern. So if it is successful in the real world and good in the sense and perception, then it's most probably wise, right? So there's this sense of, using your own innate wisdom to discern is really what that's saying. But I think that just kind of building on that, I love how the books, of course, represent traditionally where we were, have been taught to learn that knowledge comes from, right? Is hitting the books and the research that's been there, come before us. And it's interesting because, this card, I like how she says, the getting of wisdom is something that typically takes time, and that we can sometimes be impatient. I want to know, I want to understand, I want to be an expert already in this field. We might cut corners and not see that the role that we take in our own poor decision making. But, we have an opportunity as modern people, she says, that there's a millennia of wisdom to assist us, right? Human history has some very wise people that have starred in it and some not so wise. So we have plenty of examples from which to learn. So, I like that because there is this sense of allowing the past to inform us, which include the good, the bad, and the ugly, and having the sense to discern between the two and be able to allow it to inform, but then again, trusting within your own innate sense of knowing. And I think that's a nice connection too with the strength card, because taming that sense, that lower vibrational sense within, that enables us to really connect in with that wise higher self, and being able to tap into that ancient wisdom as well. So, like I said, I'll see how that shows up when we get into the specific new moon spread and the aspects we'll be dipping into. But I really do enjoy this card when it comes up because I love how there's so much symbolism in, it is hard to feel grounded and safe perhaps when we are on the water in a boat, that can be rocking. The waters can be choppy. And there is a misty sense here all around her. And there are rocks, interspersed between where, it can be challenging to trust. And yet she has scaled that ladder. She's standing at the top and still reaching up. So there is a sense of to allow ourselves to be supported by team spirit. And again, as we've had a couple of cards here speaking to the ancestors and speaking to, the historic wisdom that we come from in order to be able to continue to ascend and climb on that ladder, which also means being open to new beliefs and new understandings and evolving from, the knowledge of old. There could be things in those books when you think about, well, it's funny because the books remind me of, this is a little side note and then we'll move on to the next card. Back in the day, most of us are aware that, the Encyclopedia Britannica, Funk and Wagnall, every home would have that set of encyclopedias that would just have, all the information in it. And yet now we understand with how fast things are moving in the world and innovation and technology, how quickly things become outdated. Well, imagine if the source was a book that could sit on a shelf for a decade. To consider that to be the source that knows all, that is, the thing that we go to, when actually we use that like wrong over wrong, stepping up that ladder, climbing. And yes, there is reverence and respect for those books and all of the things that we have, come from that have given us that boost, that leg up as we have been ascending, but recognizing that we continue to reach beyond that. And that's really where I feel this pivotal point here in the week, this midweek blessing that all this Aquarian energy is bringing in, and the new lunar new year, shedding those skins with the wood snake coming in, that there's opportunities for us to tap into higher knowing and wisdom that is coming in now, that is available to all, maybe in new ways that we have never seen before, that, more to come there, but I'm definitely tapping into some bigger collective messages as well when we think about that analogy of the old encyclopedias. And again, it's no disrespect to the process of cultivated wisdom over time and respect for all that have come before to bring us to this place. while also in this master builder energy of where to from here and how we can incorporate in, but also we are expanding beyond. And that's really the challenge that we're navigating here in this transitional year that asks us to flow, as we grow. So let's look at now this beautiful Chinese 5 elements oracle message that's coming in as well. Okay, so here we have the card that came forward when we're tapping into the energies that are coming in with the Lunar New Year. We chose a card from the Chinese 5 elements oracle, and we got the card Metal Bird. And I see here that the Metal Bird is part of the section of the Chinese 5 elements that is associated with growth and expansion, the wood tiger cycle. So, as you move through the oracle here, it explains to you the different elements and their associations with these different zodiac symbols and such. So there's deeper meaning there. And like I said, we're going to be diving in more deeply into that this week on the Empowerment Sharecast with the pick a card and the other guidance that I'll be sharing for the Lunar New Year. But, I think it's kind of funny because we were just saying how all this Aquarian energy, this new moon, these opportunities for growth and expansion with the wisdom energy coming in. And then sure enough, again, like I say, synchronistically, a different card from a completely different deck that's tapping into completely different energy, also speaking to growth and expansion. The Metal Bird says, treat yourself like royalty. It says the metal bird contains pure yin metal, the element of glamour and self-reflection. The bird, a yin metal sign and a peach blossom star, like a diva, adores all shiny objects and loves to luxuriate in the sweetness of life. She encourages us to embrace the divine feminine within. Feel her power rising and surrender to her intoxicating sweetness and seductive darkness. The yin exists in each of us. This card invites you to explore the feminine within, especially the sensual side of you. Being in tune with the heart, mind, body, and senses helps connect us to the yin energy. Make self-care part of your daily routine. Define your own versions of luxury and invest in it. For example, to many of us, time is a luxury. Prioritize and be selective with who you choose to spend your precious time with. Let the beauty within be reflected in your movement, words, and actions. The yin metal energy attracts not only with looks, but also with sounds and words. So incorporate music and sound healing into your self-care regimen. Oh yeah, Archangel Sandalphon is here. I was just talking about that with the previous card because card 22, Wisdom, and I'm just spraying in the Archangel Sandalphon for the bronze ray, the earth star chakra of that energy, because he also governs music, that there is this sense of, really securing and feeling secure in where we are, and within ourselves. So, the metal bird is also a reminder to value the self in a relationship. Love yourself like the gem that you are. Act like royalty and you'll be treated like one. And I know there's so many other aspects. I mean, that was really also feeling very much like, as I mentioned here at the end of the week with Uranus stationing direct, having been in Taurus, I think that is definitely some flavor that's feeding in here in terms of that self-care and beauty and love and really that earthy energy of feeling like, this energy coming in with the Earth Star chakra and the bronze, which I'm looking at the color of her dress as well. And then also some of the other aspects that were just coming into this week through with Mars and Venus and things that are all being touched on here. So that all feels very relative to this energy coming in. And also, I'm kind of feeling her to be the energy that is with the strength. When we talk about taming the beast, the strength card came in as our opening card for this week, the Monday card, that the typically feminine energy, divine feminine energy that is usually pictured in that card, taming that beast, in this case, that wolf this week. I feel that the yin energy that's being described here is like that self that comes from that place of more tamed, gentle, but also strong position. Now, a couple more bits here. There is a message coming in from heaven and earth with this deck, and the message from heaven says, yin metal loves to flaunt. Know your worth and own your look. You are the creator of your reality. And the message from earth, we can access the yin metal energy through self-reflection practices. See your reflection from a place of love and tell yourself something positive. The beauty staring back at you in the mirror will appreciate the feedback. So maybe even some mirror exercises this week, literally walking by the mirror and saying something nice to yourself, something kind. Maybe you have an affirmation or something that you wish to repeat. Or even if it just makes you smile, make yourself look at in the mirror and smile at yourself. I know like I've been trying to do a daily practice with a friend of mine. We've been trying to do yoga every day. And one of the things that that the instructor often says when you're in a particular position, she'll stop and say, smile. And there's just something funny about while you're in some, perhaps like precarious position, straining to make yourself smile, but it instantly lifts. You feel that shift. So I'm just feeling that with this card, that there's some guidance here to really take a moment to appreciate something about yourself in the mirror. And also that peacock, as yin as this energy has been, that's giving me a lot of yang, a lot of strutting your stuff, a lot of like letting that freak flag fly when it comes to being your own unique self. And remember, again, in the astrological weather, we talked about this energy kicking off the week, Mercury in Aquarius, giving us this nudge to speak the thing, say the thing, express yourself authentically, go for it. So, these are all aspects that I'm seeing come in here with this card and reflecting back to us as we now navigate towards Thursday, where I think we're going to get a little more of that flavor with the card coming in for how we're growing. Let's take a look. All right, Thursday is bringing in a message for how we are growing, and we have this beautiful Ace of Swords really cutting through with this icicle of clarity. The swords representing the air element and really bringing through truth and clarity and ideas. And again, this innovation, all this Aquarian energy coming in here on the back of this new moon in Aquarius that we have coming in this week. How are we growing? The Ace of Swords speaks to new thoughts that begin with that first inclination. So it says you are experiencing a breakthrough in clarity and spiritual awareness. A powerful pull of energy is taking you down a path where strength is needed to be triumphant. So once again, I was just talking again about this beautiful card that came in to set the tone for our week. Strength is needed, right? So as we are navigating the things that can be challenging, the things that can feel, down and out before we're feeling a sense of renewed abundance and ability to persevere, strength is needed. And so in comes this clarity of thought and understanding. The heart, head, and soul must be aligned in order for this new idea, new creative idea or vision to take shape. So seek out the truth to create justice in the situation in front of you. Be prepared for battle. Lead from your heart, but have clarity in mind. So again, the Ace of Swords doesn't pull any punches. It really just cuts through the BS with clarity. And so whether this is about a thought or an idea and something that we're currently kind of keeping close to the chest, or it's speaking to literally expressing the thing, saying the thing, putting it out there, and I would gravitate towards the latter, especially in light of that guidance that we have here this week with Mercury in Aquarius and how we were talking about that in the energetic weather about communication and expression and the like. But I just love how, nobody said it's easy, right? Because it's in front of a mountain, which once again, it's not like some smooth, green, hilly mountain. It's like rough, snowy terrain that there's ups, there's downs, there's, peaks and valleys, there's challenges, And so how do we persevere through those challenges? And we've been kind of getting this, power pack of guidance here this week, strength, wisdom, feeling this sense of inner fire with the wands energy coming in, and also the abundance and all the resources that we need, even when we may feel on the outs or feeling down. There is a sense of taking a renewed look at our surroundings, but also getting a boost with these new ideas and sparks of inspiration and innovation that are coming in too, that we can, really flow with. And so that's something, for us to, once again, really tap into with the energies of this new moon, and the ability for us to potentially plant some seeds and set some intentions in that way. And additionally, some things that maybe the air to be cleared, some things to be said, some things to cut out, so that we can now plan ahead for that dream destination that's coming up here for Friday. All right, finally Friday, and I'm loving it. I am here for it, because if you are anything like me and you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and you are experiencing winter, and unless you really love winter, it's about that time, isn't it, that we've checked the boxes, right? We've experienced the sub-zero temperatures. Perhaps we had some snowfall and we did all the things, and now I'm good. I'm done. I've checked my winter box and I'm ready for somewhere sunny and tropical, and maybe even a drink with some fruit in it is in order. Okay. So I'm feeling this, but bringing it into how beautiful it symbolizes the essence of the Three of Wands, of planning. Where am I going from here? Where do I want to venture to? Let's think about that. Let's get into this energy of, like, if I was picturing myself planning a beautiful trip right now. And again, let that be whatever that is for you. Because if it's skiing or something, in a wintry landscape, you go. I'm not here to yuck your yum. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind a sandy beach. So the Three of Wands. This message says, look at you. You visualized it. You felt it. You planned it. And now you get to experience it firsthand. Enjoy the warm weather for a week. And Dani'el says, in Canada, we travel to warm, all-inclusive destinations like Cuba, Dominican, Mexico, Panama, etc. for 1 to 3 weeks to beat the cold weather. Ooh, I like that plan. I would love to do that. That sounds amazing. So when you take the time to dream, life reshapes itself for you. You may be seeking long-term spiritual enlightenment, and that may mean having to detach yourself away from everyday life and journey afar to do so. It is time to get out of your comfort zone and create waves within. New growth comes from experiencing new ways of living and being. Where are you being guided to go? Where in your mind are you being asked to journey to? Your inner spirituality wants to explore new ground. It is time to go on an adventure. So this is so beautiful. Like, this is symbolic, right? So whether you are actually in a place where you could be planning an all-inclusive trip somewhere, literally, or again, energetically, to journey into your inner wisdom and spirit. Once again, Hermit coming in strong with those nods about, this opportunity for us to take that journey to that destination of our dreams. And so it is about dreaming big and expansively. And, what I often say about the Three of Wands is, kind of seeing it all at once, past, present, and future, all in one vision, being able to see each. And like I was talking about in the previous card, specifically the wisdom card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, when I was saying, allow that past to inform you. Learn from those foundations and what we already know, but also here in this present moment and where we find ourselves, wherever that may be. All of those things are coming in terms of where to from here. And then that greets our inner knowing and again, we're being guided this week with that strength card to shine your inner light, to step into that place of power, of confidence, of boldness, to say the thing, do the thing, plan the thing, right? So there's just so much opportunity this week to be tapping into potentiality and dreaming big. And, I just... I wish I was doing it on this beach, but be where you are, right? So whatever your surroundings look like, I love this energy to really cap off this week. And again, if you're not done seeing this deck, I'm not done seeing this deck. So please, if you would like a personal card pull, give me an opportunity to pull a few more cards from this deck this month as we're winding down. Reach out to me in whatever way works for you. And I will be tuning in to pull cards this week for you personally, as I am working in the deeper session work, still over here chipping away at those year ahead readings. Many of them have been out. Everybody who has received theirs already, I've been really enjoying hearing from you. And I will get back to everyone more expressively. Of course, it's just been sort of a, keeping things moving in terms of getting those readings all out to everyone. I'm really enjoying them and I can't wait. Anyone who's still waiting, they're coming at you. If you did not get a chance to get one, the year ahead readings are available all year. So feel free to check out my booking link if you're interested. I would say February is when I will then be any new bookings for that big reading. But in the meantime, this week, I'll also be working on that new moon empowerment reading for anyone who wants to join us. That reading is available a la carte. And then next week, we're kicking off the February Empowerment Pack. So I would love to hear from anybody if you know that you'll be joining so that I can plan accordingly, because we'll have a fresh set of month ahead energies to feel into next week with newly intuitively selected decks, altar, and all the things. So thank you guys so much for being here throughout this month of January. It's not over yet. We've got lots to dig into this week, but I'm just kind of wrapping it all up as we launch into this week. I'll be back with our pick a card for the Chinese New Year and more details on rolling into February and the new February Empowerment Sharecast that'll be kicking off here next week. So thank you guys so much. I'm sending you much love, many blessings. Have a fantastic week. We'll talk soon.